The Tudor dynasty was one of the most famous royal houses in English history, ruling England and Wales from 1485 to 1603. This period marked a time of immense political transformation, cultural flowering, and the birth of modern England. The dynasty began with Henry VII, who ended decades of civil war, and concluded with Elizabeth I, whose reign is often celebrated as a golden age in English history. The Tudor era was characterized by strong monarchs, religious upheaval, exploration, and the foundations of England's later imperial and naval power. Origins of the Tudor dynasty. The Tudors were of Welsh descent, tracing their lineage to Owen Tudor, a Welsh courtier who married Catherine of Valois, the widow of King Henry V of England. Their son, Edmund Tudor, married Margaret Beaufort, a descendant of John of Gaunt, son of Edward III. This union linked the Tudors to the royal bloodline of the Plantagenets. Their son, Henry Tudor, would later claim the throne as Henry VII after defeating King Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485, marking the end of the Wars of the Roses, a long conflict between the houses of Lancaster and York. Henry VII, reigned 1485 to 1509. Henry VII, the founder of the Tudor dynasty, was a cautious and shrewd ruler. He strengthened the monarchy's finances, reduced the power of the feudal nobility, and established peace after years of civil war. His marriage to Elizabeth of York, daughter of Edward IV, symbolically united the warring houses of Lancaster and York, bringing stability to England. Henry also improved the economy by encouraging trade and ensuring a stable currency. His reign laid the groundwork for the centralized and powerful monarchy his descendants would inherit. Henry VIII, reigned 1509 to 1547. Henry VII's son, Henry VIII, is perhaps the most well-known Tudor monarch. His reign transformed England politically and religiously. Initially a devout Catholic, Henry VIII broke away from the Roman Catholic Church in the 1530s after the Pope refused to annul his marriage to Catherine of Aragon. His desire for a male heir led him to marry Anne Boleyn, and this dispute gave rise to the English Reformation. In 1534, the Act of Supremacy declared Henry the supreme head of the Church of England, effectively creating the Anglican Church. This separation from Rome changed English history forever. Henry dissolved monasteries, seizing their lands and wealth, which greatly increased royal revenues. Henry VIII had 6 wives: Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, Jane Seymour, Anne of Clovis, Catherine Howard, and Catherine Parr. Despite his multiple marriages, only one of his legitimate children, Edward VI, would briefly inherit the throne. Edward VI, reigned 1547 to 1553. Edward VI, Henry VIII's son with Jane Seymour, became king at the age of 9. During his short reign, England became more firmly Protestant. The Book of Common Prayer was introduced, and church services were conducted in English rather than Latin. However, Edward was frail and died young, leading to a succession crisis. Before his death, Edward named his cousin Lady Jane Grey as his successor to prevent his Catholic half-sister, Mary, from taking the throne. Lady Jane ruled for just 9 days before being overthrown. Mary I, reigned 1553 to 1558. Mary I, the daughter of Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon, sought to restore Catholicism in England. Her marriage to Philip II of Spain made her unpopular, and her persecution of Protestants earned her the nickname Bloody Mary. Hundreds of Protestants were executed during her reign. Despite her efforts, Mary's campaign to return England to papal authority ultimately failed. She died childless in 1558, leaving the throne to her half-sister, Elizabeth I. Elizabeth I, reigned 1558 to 1603. The reign of Elizabeth I, daughter of Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, is regarded as one of the most glorious periods in English history. Known as the Virgin Queen, Elizabeth ruled wisely for 45 years, balancing religious divisions and strengthening the monarchy. Under her leadership, the Church of England was firmly established with moderate Protestant doctrines, which helped bring relative religious stability. Her reign also saw remarkable achievements in exploration, arts, and literature. Explorers like Sir Francis Drake and Sir Walter Raleigh expanded England's global reach, while writers like William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe flourished, ushering in the English Renaissance. Elizabeth's foreign policy was skillful and pragmatic. She successfully defeated the Spanish Armada in 1588, securing England's status as a rising naval power. However, she never married or produced an heir, leading to the end of the Tudor dynasty upon her death in 1603. Legacy of the Tudor dynasty. The Tudors left a profound mark on English history. Their reign transformed England from a medieval kingdom into a centralized, modern state. The dynasty oversaw the Reformation, the rise of national identity, and the beginnings of overseas exploration and trade. Under their rule, the monarchy gained strength and prestige, setting the stage for the later expansion of the British Empire. From Henry VII's consolidation of power to Elizabeth I's cultural brilliance, the Tudor era was one of transformation, resilience, and innovation. It was an age that defined English politics, religion, and culture for centuries to come, a dynasty remembered not only for its dramatic history but also for shaping the nation that England would become.